This is the Tower on Relentless Daring Media Network.
Decisions where the nights are long and the truth cuts deep. Just rise against the tide with clear intention, place where freedom never sleeps. Echoes are last in the hall of tomorrow. The light will chase away the wind spinning. They're all got a message for the nation, raising up the flag with no hesitation. Through the storm, the fire burns bright. On the edge of reason, we defend our rights. Whoa.
Welcome back to Land of Bourbon and Bad Decisions. This is the Tower Morgan Show live on twitch.tv/Tower Morgan Show and live on youtube.com/at the Tower Morgan Show. Or maybe check this out on podcast. Like and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube podcast platform you're listening on, before I get into all of the insanity that has been going on, let me tell you about coffee. Yes, that's right. Coffee, the thing that makes my world go round every day. For me, I a lot for work. My coffee at home. Oh my God. Yet. My coffee is from American Pride Roasters. American Pride possibly custom roast, custom ground to order coffee that I have found. Absolutely amazing. Great customer service. And Dave and the guys over there, Dave and all of them, good job roasting the coffee and in the ground. And they have so many great blends. If you like coffee flavored coffee like me, whether you prefer flavors as well. I'd be a huge fan of flavored coffees. And then they had a peanut butter and chocolate Carver roast that I just had to try for myself, and just kiss amazing. Check out their full line coffee. Either the link in the show notes or you are there. All right, so it has been a rather eventful last few days in the world of Eric Swalwell. Well, several days ago, it came out that there's been some questionable in his office with employee NDAs and whatnot, especially young ladies who work in his office. And as far as the NDAs go, he had staff coming out and saying, not necessarily because they're under NDA, don't want to blatantly out themselves and violate the NDA unless they can get a judge to pierce the NDA. But as so her slams texting them with the pictures of his wang, pictures of his shirtless, generally things you expect to get in Texas, a married, something your employer, Eric Swalwell, he released a statement video on the Instagrams saying that, well, I'm not perfect, and yeah, I've made mistakes, but that's between my wife and I. So, are you admit that yes, you did sexually hurt? Are you admitting to these things to say that, well, the mistakes I've made, that you gotta pick one or the other. Congressman Eric Swalwell, and is not within his orbit, not within his immediate sphere of influence, Sir El Camino. And if you don't know who Angela is, she is a liberal woman originally from New York, and she would troll the right. She was really good at it, just getting the right worked up. 40-year-old woman, no kids, out on the town, being a bold liberal, blah, 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 blah. And it would get guys on the right all worked up. Just she was rage baiting, and they fell for it hardcore. And I used to, and I kind of figured out what she was doing. And yeah, I actually kind of started to like her. I mean, I follow her on Twitter. I mean, and seeing her journey from very liberal to moving more to the middle has been an experience. And she takes a lot of stuff in stride. A lot of the guys on the right would make fun of her, forehead because it's huge. You know, she some say she has a 5 head, maybe even a 6 head. I mean, it's so tall, and she's kind of owned it. I mean, you can't really use it to insult her when she's like, "I have great forehead." Like 5 years ago, and she saved the screenshot of getting a random text, or not random text, DM on Twitter from the account of Eric Swalwell. Now, maybe the staff his social media forgot a coup, but based on the stuff that's coming out with propositioning staffers through text message, I don't think that I think anomaly at this point, and this is just leaving all the thing stuff. He was, you know, edged relations with a. I'm using very couch. Again, it's alleged that he had sex with the Chinese spy. There's no evidence that he did. He's definitely not admitting it. But these acts against him now, while indicative of a relationship there, are very disturbing episode. He has and they've done the digital forensics on it to make it have not been altered, make sure it's not AI. And unknown due to in a room with the hooker. And it's not like, hey, we're having a meeting. It is Eric Swalwell, super, super duper handsy in, grabbing hold of her, falling back on you get the basic instinct shot from the hooker. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being offensive. It is sex worker. Either way, this woman inadvertently gives the basic instinct shot, which she is covered up. There, she's not Sharon Stone with the exposed meat flaps or anything, but his hands are all over her boobs when he's doing this, and it's disturbing that no, if you're going to be doing something like this, why make evidence? Why have someone film it? Go back later, but at the same time, if it comes out and you're married at the time, that stuff's going to be held over your head in divorce court when your soon-to-be ex is proving infidelity and why they should get not just 50% of your crap, but maybe 75 or 80% of it. Let me pull this up here. Add to the stage. My stuff's being a little slow here. And there we go. I have just obtained a new video of what appears to be Congressman Eric Swalwell taken moments after the first video that has been circulating today. I have also received digital forensics reports attesting to the veracity of both it and the initial video. I mean, seriously, this is like unconscionable. Unfreaking conscionable that a sitting congressman, I mean, forget just a sitting congressman, a married man is doing this. And it is he fit for public service in any manner? Not just bashing on Donald Trump for E. Jean Carroll, a woman who the circumstances of her alleged victimhood at the hands of Donald Trump feels like it was literally out of an episode of Order. This is a woman who, this is the most traumatic thing that has ever happened in her life. She cannot remember the year that it happened. She cannot provide any witnesses. No one from Barney's was able to say, "Why, yes, on that day there was a commotion in the dressing room, and when we ended, Mr. Trump exited himself, and Miss Carroll was still in the dressing room, obviously a victim of a horrible thing." people who are hammering Donald Trump on that are defending. Well, they're also going up against this, but they're only being due. But they get two treatment. Again, Swalwell being defended by the left, even though he's being called on to resign from his seat in Congress, being called to drop it in California. But the left is calling for him to resign, and so is the right. Republicans are probably louder voices calling for the resignation of Tony Gonzalez than anyone. And a lot of people doing Donald Trump. What about Donald? Now, does Donald guilt some bad behavior in the past? Excusing Donald Trump's behavior. Now, with the whole E.G. and Carroll thing, that is suspect at best. At worst, and should be overturned on an appeal as to support. It's literally just her testimony in a city where the average member of the jury pool is going to be anti-Donald Trump. Where they go into them after hearing this story pulled right out of an episode of Law and Order and go, oh my God, like this. What about the fact she can't even tell you what year? Well, obviously she was so traumatized that lost details over the years. Well, okay, that's fine. If you add one from when she claims that she was Bill Clinton when he was governor of Arkansas, she can tell you date, she can tell you time, she can tell you the hotel, she could tell you what she could see from the window of the freaking hotel room. And it has very, very specific details. Same people jumping up and well, they're the same ones who during all the they're saying you just can't believe. And Jennifer Flowers, like why would a married man sexually harass those two? This is obviously just part of Hillary's vast conspiracy of the right. And this is just all made up baloney, even though, again, with specific details about things that were said and done and where they happened. So much ridiculousness. It's at the point now, Eric Swalwell's senior staffers are like, yeah, we need to distance ourselves. This reading from DMZ. Ha! The demilitarized zone. TMZ, Eric Swalwell staff deeply disturbed by allegations against him. But we can't quit, or we can't all quit. This is a statement from senior staff of California's 14th Congressional District and Eric Swalwell for staff to head up his gubernatorial election staff. But that's a question for another day. But reading from their statement. As leaders of teams working for Eric Swalwell, we're horrified by the recent. We stand with our former colleague and the other women who have come forward. We believe you should stand with them beneath the dignity of those serving in public office and betrays the trust of all. We lead teams focused on supporting our colleagues during this in their roles in the interim should not be viewed as support for Eric Swalwell. We recognize that not everyone, in particular our junior staff, can immediately forfeit their income and benefits without significant personal risk or consequence. Our responsibility now is to them. We, more than he, understand that we have obligations to the people we lead and to the constituents of California's 14th Congressional District. Those of us that remain on staff do so for the sole purpose of ensuring that as many of those obligations are fulfilled as possible. Senior staff, Office of California's 14th Congressional District, senior staff, Eric Swalwell for Governor 2026. Yeah. This is just pure posturing on their parts. If I was a congressional office, I would immediately a way to offer them some sort of severance package so they can GTFO and get the hell away, and then just everyone abandon that office. Because as a staffer, you do not have any responsibilities to his constituents. You have responsibility to them. And if he is going to abuse his office, you have no duty to remain any role for him. You and your way. It is not your responsibility to ensure that he's doing his job. That is his responsibility. And if he's going to shirk as a representative for the people of that district in California, to have you working for him. Just get out now while the getting is good. All right, this is Crashio from here on out.